Yeah, it's kind of nice with the filling though because everything just melts in your mouth a little bit. Oh, it was...
Can't believe I didn't get one.
Can't hesitate.
Just had a really scintillating conversation about focaccia behind me.
Yeah, Chatsworth Bakehouse, have you heard of it?
I haven't. Where is it?
Do you know anything about measurement? How we measure influencers, right?
Yeah.
AI coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Are we looking at these as new emerging technologies and thinking this could change everything about the industry?
No, we absolutely are.
It's going to change everything.
Yeah, luckily we're plugging it into IBEX.
So IBEX being?
Our proprietary piece of tech. All of our campaign data from like the 4,500 posts we do a week does the quant and the qual, so you can find out basically the cost pers for each one based on the analytics of their posts.
You're speaking like a politician. It's not a case of you going bloop, 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 input, and then it going here, spits out the influencers, and then you go back to the client.
Yeah, so it obviously varies from campaign to campaign and client to client. Some have preferences they want to stick to, quite strict on their verticals, kind of limiting what we choose. But regardless, we put forward a cross-section of people that we have looked at their stats, look at their demos. Ultimately, it's down to the client who they want to represent their brand, but we have the insight and we'll put forward the people that will give us those results.
Great answer. How confident are we that does give us the correct selection?
We are able to guarantee our delivers up front because of that IBEX platform.
The challenge for us is how do we take the collective intelligence from running campaigns across 34 markets, take all those different data points to understand not just like the influence, but what type of content is going to work for any given campaign or brand, what type of format is going to work the best, when should people be posting,
how quickly do they respond, have they worked with certain brands, all of those things that brands look for on the brand sensitivity side and also the brand guideline side. So that's how we're able to guarantee results to our clients.
We've got all this data at our fingertips, but we are basically building now AI predictive modelling on top of all of that data so that every market can leverage that, so we'll get better performance, make sure that we are securing the best rates for clients as well, and ultimately being able to better measure what we do, because as you know, we're now distributing content not just across social organically, but with paid media, across publishers, across digital out of home. So we've got these multiple different media channels in the mix as well. We want to harness and pull all of that data back in, and the more data we have, the better the predictive modelling, and it should be a virtuous circle or a flywheel.
What's a flywheel again? What is it?
It's basically a virtuous circle, but it's understanding and learning more to make what you're doing next even better.
My worry is that AI tools are going to level the playing field. So we'll get a tiny little competitor that will all of a sudden be able to match us in terms of all of these data points.
What AI can't do and what other competitors can't do is literally the relationships that we have, the years and years of data, of actual performance data. Ultimately, it's how do we harness that the best? And the ones that will harness that the best with the biggest data sets and the biggest footprint and the best relationships will be the ones that continue to be successful. More to come.
More to come.
More to come.
I'm worried about the future.
Don't worry about the future, mate.
Okay. Tell me, you've just had a big workshop with Essence Mediacom.
Yes. Lauren very kindly trained them on the campaign management side, like how we calculate our guaranteed deliverables, how we do influencer selection, ensuring D&I, brand safety, the cogs of how we work, you know.
The cogs of how we work.
They're ultimately the faces of us as well, right, when they're speaking to clients.
Yeah.
So now they know.
Data shows that brands prefer to build relationships with existing influencers rather than go through the entire influencer selection process every time they run a campaign. Is that something we would recommend?
Wait, should we account for this?
God, passing the buck, isn't she?
Well, I guess it should be a mix of both. It should be based on how they performed in previous campaigns, whether they were cost efficient, whether their content was high quality, and also testing new influencers to see if they can improve the campaign.
But what if they've used 10 influencers and they've all done pretty well?
And your campaign would never improve then if you were to use the same influencers over and over. You obviously want to include new people so you can test out different dynamics, different ways of working, different creatives, and then see if that helps.
But does the selection process itself kind of I suppose it costs time for the brand, it's testing and learning. Mm-hmm. So if they hit on influencers that do work, do you think brands are kind of scared to go through that process again?
This is why our Uber Eats campaign came in, because we worked with ambassadors and we actually found that long term they didn't really bring in the same benefit over a consistent period of time. So 3 months was the maximum period of time where we saw the highest engagement, and after that they kind of trickled off. So actually I don't think that that's necessarily true.
So having a refresh
Yeah,
is probably a needed thing.
I think so, yeah.
That's how you do it.
Was that a good answer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm not going to look, I'm going to trust my instincts. Am I close?
Yeah, nearly bullseye.
That's not good.